Hello once again to my valued VFG clients, and I hope that I find you all in good health. Well, before I go into the two topics for today, I just want to talk about the headlines of recent weeks. And of course, the Victorian lockdown restrictions have now been eased. So well done to all the clients and all my family and friends down in Victoria. Get out there and enjoy the pubs, the clubs, and enjoy yourself. Get out to the Yarra Valley. That's where all my family are from. Great place for restaurants and wines. So get out there, hit the road, and get out of that lockdown. The other big headline, obviously, in recent weeks has been Donald Trump and his removal as the President of the United States in America. Or is he? Joe Biden's still waiting to see whether he can step into that White House, but we'll leave that to the Americans and the American people and the process to sort that out. Also, the other thing I wanted to mention is that Tigers, my beloved Richmond Football Club, win their third flag in 4 years, winning the premiership here in 2020. Well done, Tigers. Well done, Richmond Footy Club. But more topical, what I want to talk about is also the other headline is the announcement on Melbourne Cup Day where the Reserve Bank have dropped the cash rate down to 0.10%. Yes, 0.10%. Who would have thought 10 years ago, November 2010, the cash rate was 4.75%. My, have we seen a falling in 12 months of that cash rate, and then the flow-on effect to our variable and fixed rates. Unfortunately, the big banks haven't passed on the variable rate reduction that the Reserve Bank announced, and that's probably because they have copped a few losses in the last 6 to 12 months as a result of the COVID-19. They're obviously trying to retain profit and trying to keep cash reserves at the required level. So that's understandable. They have in fact though brought down rates on the fixed rate both for owner-occupied and investment properties. So some really good opportunities out there with fixed rates. But I also want to say, please do not fix any of your rates till you speak to me. There are pros and cons of fixing a rate, and it is all different to your own personal circumstances. So if you do want to consider moving from variable to fixed rate, please come back to me first and talk about what those pros and cons are. But the two topics I wanted to talk about are, first of all, the reduction in that rate. So why has the Reserve Bank dropped the rate down to 0.10%? Well, predominantly it's because we've got a weak economy, consumer spending has slowed up, salary growth has slowed up, and basically household debt's also increasing. And of course, we've had this horrible pandemic throughout this year. So a lot of government money being thrown into the economy to get the economy started off with COVID-19. But also the Reserve Bank has wanting to stimulate the economy by dropping interest rates. Very low interest rates, and starting to see, as a result of those low interest rates, we're starting to see some activity out there. As a broker, I've been very busy. People are still buying properties because of the low interest rates. People are refinancing because of the low interest rates. So really, in relation to your own personal situation, I've said this many times in the last couple of videos, what can you do to make your position better? You do a tax return every year around July, August, September, about now. So please also review your home loan statements, particularly your owner-occupied statements, because the rates are now very low on variable, very low on fixed. You can get low to mid variable rates for owner-occupied, low to mid twos, I should say, for variable rates. And in fact, there are now some sub 2, 1.95 rates on some variables, but also definitely on the fixed rates. But I caution you once again, do not move to a fixed rate until you speak to me. So rates are low, the activity is very strong, and so there's a lot of activity out there in terms of property refinancing, and we seem to have come through the COVID-19 quite well. There may be some pain still to come next year in 2021, but that also brings opportunity. So that brings me to the second topic that I just wanted to quickly touch on: investors. If you currently have an investment property and investment loan, please look at your interest rates also and understand, in fact, where your rates are in the marketplace. Are there better rates out there? If you've got 3%, 3.5% on your investment loan, you're paying far too much. So please review your loan and send me those statements so I can do a review for you. The ANZ Bank announced yesterday a total flip on property growth. Their property forecast for next year was Wasn't so rosy about 2 months ago. They were predicting that property wouldn't grow, would only grow by about 0.8% for 2021. That's for both the Victorian and New South Wales markets. They've actually come out yesterday and realigned that one, or reassessed it. They're now saying that there could be growth of around 8%. In both those markets, 8.5 I think it was in Victoria and 8.7 in Sydney. So that's because there is some activity out there. Because there are low rates, people are still employed, people are still earning good money in their jobs. So there's an opportunity out there and some fairly good prices starting to yield in some of the properties, particularly in regional areas. So regional Victoria, regional New South Wales, there are still some opportunities where you can actually get some good buys. I've had some clients here in Sydney buy a couple of properties up on the central coast of New South Wales at good prices. But let me tell you, that won't last for long, because there is already a migration out of the city to regional areas of both Victoria and New South Wales as a result of COVID-19. People have finally realised they can work from home, but more importantly, companies have finally realised that people can work from home. So this migration, that we're seeing a trickle of it in the last 3 months, we're going to see a more of that migration from city to regional areas throughout next year and beyond, because people can work from home. So if you do have a property in regional Victoria, regional New South Wales, or are contemplating purchasing a property in that area, I would suggest that you do review that and have a look at those opportunities that are out there, because I think the property market in those areas will grow in coming years. As an investor, the other thing I wanted to point out to you is that if you might be looking at your repayments, so a lot of investors, because of advice given by financial planners, put their investment rates as interest-only repayments. Now that's probably fine. I'm not questioning why a financial planner would do that. That would normally be for your personal cash flow and tax benefits. But in fact, just got to be wary that in a property market where the prices have been coming off, particularly with inner city units in both Melbourne and Sydney. As the property market prices come off, if you're only paying interest only on your investment loan, you're actually not growing any equity. In fact, you're going backwards, because the equity growth is really reliant on the property growth if you're only not paying the home loan off, or the investment loan, sorry. So I would urge, if you can make principal interest repayments on your investment loan, please do so. Otherwise, yep, go to interest only loans. And that's really all about managing your equity and making sure that you move to a position where you are growing equity. There's not much point having an investment property unless you're going to make money out of it, and the only way you do that is to have the property increase in value and or pay your home loan down, pay the investment loan down, so that you actually grow that equity. So a couple of things there for investors, just to look out. It's an interesting market out there at the moment with the property market. I think we'll slide through to Christmas, which is only 6 weeks away, with some bright upsides for the property market. And I think 2021 is going to be a little bit better than what we thought it was going to be 6 months ago. So look, that's really all I wanted to cover for today. I hope you're all well and coping with this pandemic, and I'm here to actually help you with your finances to improve your position where I can. If you do want your loans reviewed, please come to me in the next week or so, because we've now hit the 6-week mark from Christmas. The banks are going to be sending out emails within the next 10 days when we get into that first week of December, where they'll receive applications, but they probably won't be actioned before Christmas. So if you are concerned and you do want your loans reviewed, get them to me by the end of November, please, or get your statements to me, or call me, email me. All my details will be on the footer of the email that's come out to you with this video. So look, I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you.